Don't mind me just poking my way up the coast, getting $30, you know, normal things. Bars cover these long, dusty windows. The remaining windows rustle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years. I see inside. Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it, and a small layer of white salt from the sea. Lieutenant, can you make out what's inside? No. He shakes his head. The windows rattle in their frames. I won't even try. You know. He takes his glasses off. I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad. Can you still shoot, though? Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting course to 7 out of 10. Oh. So he doesn't have great eyesight. I mean, he's got glasses, obviously, but I mean, like, it's even with the glasses, apparently. That's the thing that people deal with. Some people get corrective lenses that take them right back to 2020 or so on, and other people get corrective lenses that do not. There's a staircase there. It seems like you can get inside that building. It's not just a throwaway thing. The staircase. I must be... yeah, I'm here now. Is the other line? Someone must have worked hard to smash this plastic dome. A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone unless you're out of change. Pick up the handset. Dial a random number? Why? I mean, it's 10 cents, I guess, so why not? Just to see what happens, I suppose? You hear the tone, and the machine is operable. Put 10 cents in and dial a random number, 00524031155. Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up. Pierre? Is that you, Pierre? The voice is female and sounds about 100 years old. Say you're not Pierre. That seems like a better idea. You don't know why. No, this is not Pierre. Do you have any news about Pierre? Who is Pierre? He is my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. Fine young man. But who are you then? A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish, and I can't afford them anyhow. It's a shame what you did to our country. The woman moans, and the phone lines howl in unison with her. I am not a salesman. I was just calling a random number, and you somehow ran with it. This is because we are bred leaders. I can hear the common or mixed background from your voice. Whoa. I just wanted it to be Pierre. Have a pleasant evening, prankster. Whoa. We are bred leaders. I can hear the common or mixed background in your voice. Motherfucker. That went in a direction. So I've got a non-cop. Oop, a dead phone, a smashed receiver, like someone hung up too hard. I've got my option now if I want to call somebody and don't want to use the police radio. Or he's gone. There's a slit in the concrete here, a sewer? The light vanishes inside this concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth. What's in there? Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer. Ho! There's no echo, and no answer. Cam, any idea what's down there? No idea. He takes his glasses off to polish. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here. Think you might find Ruby down there? We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Bartades that's mostly collapsed. Revichel's Sewage system has been built and rebuilt 4 or 5 times now. He puts his glasses back on. In conclusion, she could be under any building, but not in there. He looks into the slit and sighs. I hope not. Oh, Kim, you're so patient. Yeah, I think the description of this game referred to Kim as your partner that's rapidly losing patience, but I'm not actually sure if that's the case. Maybe it's because I get along with Kim more so than other characters might. Right, this was the weird Cairn Island. Yeah, let's check out the top of that boardwalk now then. Maybe I'm getting along with him more than other people might. Oh, there's my money back. Anyone live up here? Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad. Touch it? The cloth, if you can still call it that, makes a soft crunching sound as you thrust your finger into it. Take a closer look. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might have been a jacket beneath the crust of filth. Seems likely this was left in the surf until someone laid it out on the bench to dry it out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass. Please tell me you're not taking this with you. I think this is the jacket that idiot Doom Spiral guy wanted me to find. The lieutenant looks at the stinking rags and sniffs. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to have it returned. Well, we'll find out. Yep, it's not even an item you can wear, it's in a separate category entirely. This filthy rag has been at the mercy of the elements for quite some time. It's streaked with seagull shit and abnormally stiff from God knows what natural processes. Can't even tell what brand it is. As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound. Man, how did this jacket get so disgusting? It's a sordid and filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it? Yeah. Some secrets are better left uncovered. Don't even try. Seriously, think about it. It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that encompasses it. It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in gray strands of seaweed. It must have spent some time in the water before the tide deposited here. Gross. Why? Why did you think about it? Look at your hands. They're covered in muck. Ew. Now you're just flicking that shit everywhere. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out. No, I thought about it. My morale. Wait, is this why there's a character that's specifically known for how she's washing clothes all the time? Is that a setup for this, I wonder? She could potentially help. Might feel like a cruel thing to do to the person that is letting me stay at her place, though. Vagrants have recently painted the tarp red. Water drips from it. Ah. Mega Bino's prescription lenses. What does Bino mean? I was called a Bino before. Whose idiotic ideas were square and beige plastic frames, anyway? Beige is the color that does not look good on anyone. Not to mention that seeing the world through these exceedingly thick lenses is almost nauseating. So -1 perception from the nausea-inducing hell glasses, but +2 encyclopedia, discover your inner Bino. What does Bino mean? I like having an encyclopedia stat. How's my perception doing, though? It's okay, I suppose. A coin-operated weighing machine hasn't been used for a decade. The speaker? Nope. It's got a secret postcard hidden behind it. Another one. This one has... It's postcard Couron 33. This one has hell written on its back. Could not be further from the truth. It's the boom years, the Kuran, the nicest district in Revachol West, is enjoying a sun-drenched day. Tall and handsome buildings rise from the riverside, steel, iron, and yellow limestone, the cloud shadows sliding on the facades. Seems like no one's here at the moment. A makeshift roof. Vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk habitable. That tarp will keep out neither rain, nor snow, nor wind. Aw, they tried. Am I gonna meet somebody here? This seems habited-ish. Maybe not right now. But ish. A big wine canister. It's open and empty. Moonshine, probably. Smells like tasty fermentation. Oop. That smell. It's awful and familiar. What is it? Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. That faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. Uh-oh. Oh, there's a guy over there. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. It is death. It must be. Heads up, Lieutenant. Something's not right here. The Lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose. Careful there. These floorboards look rotten and weak. Sir? There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash. Examine the tear. 2 empty bottles of Tuluka vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you can find. No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic. A tragedy. The lieutenant looks in the can, eyes watering from the smell. Examine the cigarette package. Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content. Examine the kebab wrapper. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revachol. It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet. Hard to concentrate on the smell. The sea air brings some relief. Is he dead? Working class corpse. I guess that narrows that down. He looked like he was sitting up, so it was a little confusing, but he's like propped up somehow against the stool. Is his leg stuck in a... Oh yeah, there's a missing plank here, like his leg is stuck. A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there. Hold on. The lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. 2 bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of life. The avidity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is, he's been dead for 2 days. No longer. He stands up and shivers as a gust of wind blows through his bomber jacket. We need to investigate. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe. He died sometime around the time that the... We're on day 4, right? Oops. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 2 days in is when the bridge opened to this rest of the world. So he died around then. When I was over here. So I didn't do it, at least. Studied the man's clothes. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom-made. Search his pockets. Folded library card. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card, folded into 2. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand. Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done. Study the man himself. The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still tangling through the hole. Dangling? A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. This place is a minefield in the dark. Examine his face. His expression is dull like the sea behind him, drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeter. Curly hair, stout build, age approximately 50 to 60 years. Study the surroundings. There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery, wet around the hole. An empty body lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here. Examine the man's head. A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. I don't see any other major wounds, do you? No, just this one at the back of his head. Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench. Step on the floorboards. The boards screech under the weight of the T500 ceramic sabatons. It's a good thing they're so light, because it's hard to determine whether it was the dead man's weight that caused the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves turning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. You could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him. Examine the bottle. A 0.75 liter Tulula vodka with the cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. Tear all around us. He looks at two other bottles forgotten near the coin-operated viewer. Examine the chewing gum wrapper. Rubowski. Spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. Look in. The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum, too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there, solidified on his lower rear teeth. He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is... The man shudders from the cold. I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario, even the chewing gum. It's always the same. The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back. Who is this man? Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this... Oh... Working class corpse. It's the corpse of the woman at the book... the corpse of the husband of the woman at the bookstore, isn't it? He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here. He looks south the way you came. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think? Looks like just another old drunkard to me. And he was married. Kim points at the ring on the man's left hand, the flesh around it swollen and gray. The other option was to say it's premature to label him as an alcoholic, but the fact that he has pre-established methods for trying to stave off people being able to detect him being heavy on the alcohol means that he's got a habit. I've never even heard of that idea before. But let's not try to run ahead. For all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead in Martinez Boardwalk. What do you think happened here? Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell to the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive. You think he was drunk? Oh yes. The lieutenant nods. What about the alcohol poisoning and liver failure? Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think the death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure. Could it be related to the lynching, Ruby? No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case. Agreed. If this somehow converges later, why not? But keep it simple for now. What about the kebab? What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. He shrugs. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the parks. Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab. Someone should be held responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's dangerous. They'll seal this place off after the news reached the coalition officials. I doubt that we'll have enough resources to actually... I doubt that they actually have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city's council's hands clean. He smiles sourly. Right. It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still the question of identifying the body. What should we do with them? From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle. Hold on, what about field autopsy? A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me. I'd say we should just write down head trauma and leave it at that. Let's keep this detour as short as possible. The sooner we get back to finding Ruby, the better. You're right, I don't see anything criminal here. Let's leave it at that. Good call. The guys at processing can take care of the rest. We found him, we should finish this. Alright. We should first examine that library card you found. Then we can call the station from Kanima. Let them know we're taking the case. There's a good chance that I already know who this person is, based on if that was the wife back there. A library card found from a pocket of the dead man of the Martinez Boardwalk. It's still slightly damp to the touch. The cover bears the stamp of Jamrock Public Library. Issued to Billy Magin, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased or his family member? Looks a lot like Billie Jean. Look at the backside. If lost, please return the card to library. Dial 0502 55211 or visit at Sunset Moreau Street, 78 Jamrock. Business hours 09 to 18. Good. He takes a note. We should give them a call from my Kanima. See if we can learn anything about Billy Magin. Good idea. There was plenty of information there to go by. Look inside. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. That's probably her. She's probably at the bookstore because her library card is missing. The one that they used. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one on the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Tybalt. A library stamp indicates the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in a sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too. Those are the genres that the bookstore stocks. Okay, so it's totally her. I think these are all clues to help you find her if you didn't meet her yet. But I already have, I think. Didn't I? I think I already know all this. I'm not just somehow jumping to crazy conclusions. It's a long way down to your death from here. 20 meters at least. This coin-operated viewer has been out of order for years. Stop messing with the coin-operated viewer and hold on to something. The wind is so strong. The strong winds, creaky boardwalk, easily breakable, also missing boards. These all, like, lead to a death, potentially, I suppose. No, we're not taking terror today. I guess it's too closely related to a crime scene. Well, no. I was gonna say I got my wish, but I didn't really meet somebody who inhabits this place. He seemed to be somebody who was wandering here drunk. Not somebody who actually lives here, as it certainly seems. But yeah, there's no reason for me to call a random number. I can do that on the Kinema for free. The sign reads Saint Brune, 1147. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. That's what happens when you walk up to very large buildings, as it turns out. Was there anything else to do up here besides set that trap earlier? I kind of came and went. There's definitely whatever's going on here. Which is this? There's still a bit of way to go. I'll avoid the buildings for now. And just poke my way up here and be thorough for a bit. Just dead and dying locusts, and the slow swaying of surrounding reeds. Kuno, why? Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, dilapidated old comms tower. I don't see it. Lieutenant W. Freighter. I don't see a person taking a shot here, and hit something there. He looks east, over the coast, in the whirling and rags. Maybe the campfire was used by the perpetrator to warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is speckled with the fires this time of year. He looks around. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out B double prime, was it? Maybe the assailant climbed the comms tower and took the shot there. It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from. Lieutenant looks up, raising his collar. It does look extremely rickety. And it wouldn't help much either. What about the cigarette butts? Those? He points to them. A smoking assailant who favors Tia Motiri to Astra or Duruin? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for old men. Tia Motiri was a Revacholian colony in Ilmara. That's suzerain, yeah. The suzerainty's population was mostly Ilmaran. Okay, I need to deal with this, actually. I think this is a real word that people know that I don't, because I'm somebody...
Suzerainty. Suzerainty.
It's a suzerainty. Any relationship in which one region or policy or polity controls the foreign policy and relations of a tributary state, while allowing the tributary state to have internal autonomy. So we're basically referring to when one state controls another state. Just a word that I'm totally unfamiliar with, so I didn't even know it wasn't made up by the game, because there's so many things that are made up by the game that I was just being thrown at and absorbing early on. But we're talking about the fact that Revachol is controlled by outside interests, and so that's why it's a suzerainty. The suzerainty's population was mostly Ilmaran Arapagites, up to 97%. The region was known for its tobacco export, hence the name. I want to know a lot more about this. Oh, you do? The bus you saw had a silhouette of a boy wearing a kofia hat, a tobacco picker. This boy is the Timotiri band logo. Contemporary Rivasholians prefer Druin, a local blend from the southern islands, or Astra, a legendary cigarette from Grad. Timotiri is favored by older men who like its old-fashioned paper filter tips, insane amounts of tar, and the sweet smells of colonialism and halva. Look over the water. The whirling in rags. There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay. Through a thick snowstorm, melting flake by flake in the waves, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. A glowing light on the third floor of the whirling in rags. With binoculars you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender. Yeah, it doesn't seem great. But like I said before, all the long-distance sniper spots seem really questionable. But the idea of the shot coming from the balcony is also weird and iffy. I wouldn't expect the shot to come so locally, but all the angles that are made available all feel like they're facing the wrong direction from the get-go. These rusty gears used to turn the whole machine. The building before you housed the engine must have been a big one. A crane or something? The chain trails off into the ocean to who knows where. Some kind of anchor point. Door. Unopenable. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long time. You see a handle. Ooh. Impossible is no joke, apparently. Even with my interfacing of 8, it's just beyond me. And it's a once-off check. Why is it a once-off? Does the door break somehow? What is this thing anyway? It's military. A service depot of some sort. Used to service what? The washerwoman mentioned a depot up on the coast. The lieutenant looks the hunching concrete toad in front of him. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay. This might be it. Could the structure have been used to take the shot? From here to the whirling? I can't see how. He looks southeast and blows on his fingers. The church is on the way. I think I even have the... Yeah. Why is trying to open a door a once-off thing? I even have the pry bar, and that doesn't matter. Impossible is no joke. I basically need a crit success. Or just way more interfacing, I suppose, which I can put 2 more points in technically, but seems pretty iffy to me. And I have no reason to know if this is even worth doing. I don't know, if I happen to get more interfacing, it might be worth checking later. If you even can get it to be above requiring a critical success. Which I don't even know if that's true. Let's check out the church. Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock carelessly drilled into the wood. Inspect the carpentry. The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. 2 large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold. Run your hand over a beam. The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. Feels exceptional. 300 tons of pine wood fit together seamlessly. It's old, too. Cut and carved many centuries ago. Rattle the door, see if they're open. Nothing happens. Only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door. I don't think that's going to work. Do you think our suspect is hiding inside? He raises his sight to the darkened windows overhead. She might be. It's worth checking out anyway. The lieutenant nods silently. High above. The wind wraps the church in its rush. Cold and wet from the ocean bay, it parts around the massive keel-shaped roof, like a test tunnel watching both sides. The way it has done for 340 years. The wind keeps its distance. So should you. What is this feeling? There is a hole in my heart. The lieutenant looks at the padlock. He didn't hear you asking. You were quiet enough. There is a hole in my heart. Huh. The wind keeps its distance, so should you. Take a close look at the padlock. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting somehow. I mean, if it's screwed into the wood, it feels like unscrewing it would be easier than opening the lock. Look at the sticker. You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve behind them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. So it's eyes and a mouth. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before. What makes it so modern? It's the contrast between the cheery chemical yellow and the rigor mortis. As if the cheery guy didn't know he was dead, or the dead guy didn't care that he was. Either way, you get the sense the forces of future are at work here. Have you seen this symbol before? He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies, "No. What does it look like to you? An Alan Moore reference? Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency." What is suggestive of junior delinquency here? I haven't seen that sticker before, and I am not a youth. I agree, it's very modern. But does the cheery guy not know he's dead, or does the dead guy not care that he is? What is the source of the irony here? That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set. It is mine, though. Try to peel off the sticker without ripping it. That was an incredibly unlikely failure. Wow. Thanks, me. Your hands are climbing from the sea air. The piece of sticker keeps slipping away. Kim, could I have that handkerchief? My hands are wet. The lieutenant hands you a blue handkerchief. He looks a little dismayed when he gets it back crumpled. However, it should be easy to peel the sticker off now. Sorry, Kim. I'm just bad at this. What the fuck? Did I just fail a 97% success chance twice? Do I have a fail all red checks thing equipped still that I forgot about? I do not. The fail all red... Oh, that was also a red check, not yellow check. Or white check. Gracefully let the lock go. This cannot stand this disrespect. We have to defeat it. Swear to God, I can't believe that happened. There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. You can throw it away, put it in your ledger, protect it, or put it on your ledger like a piece of glam. Yeah. Right on the cover. Boom. I just got the secret task complete of styling my ledger. What the fuck? Style your paperwork. You and your conceptualization skill have decided to style that paperwork so it'll be cooler somehow. Be on the lookout, but know that this will take time. But it was a secret objective I didn't even know that I had. Voila! Looks very modern. You're part of the Future Brigade now, and so is your formerly humdrum ledger. Neon, baby! Inspect the staple. The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off. This is where Mr. Prybar comes in handy. He takes a step back. Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment. Should we start with that kick drum coming from the ice? I heard a sound before. Yes, the pulsing bass. He raised his hand to his ear. A sure sign of junior delinquency, somewhere east of here. There's someone on the sea ice there. Challenging. Oh, I am unlikely to be able to apply some official force on the padlock. Not likely to go well for me. A ledger of failure and hatred. -2 authority, +1 to empathy and inland empire. Huh. Kind of thought the glam sticker was going to upgrade it, to be honest. It does not seem to have upgraded it. Can I even see the sticker anywhere? I thought the sticker would be visible and maybe affect the stats, honestly. Make me feel better about it or something. Since it's currently the sadness ledger, full of sadness. Yep, there's that bass drum. You, junior delinquent. I've walked by you before, but now I talk. A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party. Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat? Huh? She looks up at you, distracted. Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder. I said you should have a hat on, even though my partner doesn't.
So should you.
I do have a hat on, ma'am. I should and I do. Point at your hat.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan on staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
Look, man, fuck the hat. Alright, well, that's not going well. And I'm so bad at authority, this isn't really going to happen. That kind of language really necessary?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions now. Have you seen a red-haired woman around? No. Just no? Pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast. What's your name? Asil. Asil? Asile? Asile? Is this a real name? Carla's Dreams, Asil, official video. That's the first result I get. Female plural nominative of Asil. What? It also auto-completes to say... It also auto-completes to Asil Disco Elysium, funnily enough.
Asil.
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 A seal.
A seal. Yeah, yeah. It's about what I figured. A seal. Her hair is dyed blonde, but dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness. And your surname? Why? I'm from the police. It's for the paperwork. Okay. Well, she hesitates. It's Burger. A very common name. What's the device you have there? This? She breathes on her freezing fingers. It's a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still. And the wires? Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. What's a contact microphone? A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice. Your mangled brain would like you to know that there is a boxer called Contact Mike. Okay. Yeah, any news on my wife's name? How about my mother? Nope. You're welcome. Thanks, Encyclopedia. But how does that thing work? The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The box said it only picks up structure-born sound, if you like techno-babble. Where'd you get that mic from? Same place I got the recorder from. The Elysium. What's the Elysium? Oh man. You haven't been to the Elysium? She forgets herself for a moment. It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Bookie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck. Sounds interesting. Who's this Arno guy? Oh yeah. She looks you over, assessing your age. Guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck, or really be a Palaceum going kind of person. Whoa. Oh right, it's that name again. Hey, didn't those hoodlums mention Van Eyck too? Is it like a skull thing? A skull thing? She shakes her head. Man, you sound like 100 years old when you say that. No, you don't. She's mistaken you for an old person. Say you're cool. I get down. I don't know what that means. I grind. I don't know what that means either. Nor do I, but I have concrete evidence that I rock in the form of a wrecked tape player in a completely thrashed hotel room. That's cool. She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. You're right, time has deserted me. Finish him. She looks at you oddly. Sucks, man. She squints her eyes for a second, trying to remember something, then lets go of it. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps? Actually, I have some non-mic questions for you. What are you doing out here in the cold? Recording, I guess. And what is it you're recording exactly? I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps, too. Not sure how that will sound. She scratches her forehead. What happened to the old headphones? Wait, what happened to the old headphones? My boyfriend sold them. What for? I don't know, man. things. Just stuff you need for life. A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious. And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps. The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They loop the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice, and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. It reminds me of, I think I heard about it on a podcast where there was these, there's this guy that recorded audio on tape. Like it was a song or some sort of recording. And then the performance or the music or the playback was to just loop it over and over and over again until the tape was becoming physically worn down by the process of it being played. And then he recorded that sound, basically, like the dying tape. Like the tape that was played so much that it was being worn out of existence. And then he recorded what it was still playing back in its dying gasps, essentially. Just odd. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be like a music place, anyway. She rubs her shoulders and looks around. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer. The sharp drop in endorphins is almost visible. Like a warm blanket has fallen over her off her shoulders. The wave of chill, the quivering jaw, indications of a drug high. Take this. You're cold. Lieutenant begins to take off his jacket. No, man, fuck that. I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck. It's okay. The lieutenant backs up. He throws you a glance. You said it's supposed to be a music place. What is? That. She nods towards the church. The boys think it could be a place, like the Elysium or something. Stupid. It's really... She pauses. Not gonna be a Elysium, that's for sure. And who are the boys? The boys? Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent. And why is that? Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside? They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room. Stuff like what? Music stuff, mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it. You mean like those headphones your boyfriend sold? Yep. She squints her eyes a little. They were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those. Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze? That stuff is more expensive than I am. Whoa. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold. It's probably amphetamine. Makes you feel impervious to the elements, but doesn't actually make you any less cold. Why? Why can you take it? I got my recordings to do. I feel better outside. A wave breaks close by and covers her in cold spray. I had some other questions. Go ahead. Empathy. The tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up. Very low chance of success. Tell me more about this music place you're planning in the church. It's supposed to become like a club. Branodic dance music. Like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Elysium. Except that... yeah. She looks at the old wooden church up at the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek. What? The church is a 6-story structure? The floorboards are twisting and shooting beams are slowly cracking like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, There's a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for anodic music here. Not in a million years. What is anodic dance music? This is apparently a secret task. You know, anodic, cathodic. Music that's made with electronic instruments. Electronic instruments like what? Synthesizers and tape consoles, microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that. This is an evolutionary step up from amplified instruments, which in turn are a step up from acoustic instruments. What comes after it, you wonder? A black tinted nothingness or something finer? Do you want to turn the church into a club? I know. She nods towards the sloping mass of wood on the coast, then shivers. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right? Yes. Why do you ask? Okay. Well, she hesitates. Maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys. Because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right? I'll talk to them. They're inside that thing there. She points to the tent. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else? Did you put the padlock on the church door? No. No? Not really, no. She's trying to get out of a direct lie with semantic tricks. She personally didn't put the padlock on the door. Show her the sticker on your ledger. So is this yours? It's Noid's. Wait, is this Noid a friend of yours? Yeah, I guess you could say that. Why did this Noid person put a padlock on the church door? To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. She rattles her breath. Or rattles her teeth. It's got the worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about them. He'll tell you. Alright. Actually, that's it for now. Okay. Bye. Turns her attention back to the recording device. Alright. Next episode, we figure out what's up with these assholes. They're just leaving her outside. Damn, it's cold outside. Yeah, about that. Now you're in the rain right after the snow.